So who and what is the Lodger even about? Well, I chose the name The Lodger because it invokes somebody being trapped inside their own mind, Think of a lodge, out in the middle of the woods, just you all by yourself, trapped inside that little wooden box surrounded by trees. Kind of the same concept with, depression, like it's just you and your mind surrounded by people who have said either mean things about you, who support you but don't actually mean it, or just other conceptual things that we don't really know beyond the lodger's mind itself. And how long did this project take for you, sir? Well, the project took about a week's worth. So the first stage was posted on September 27th, and then the final stage, stage 4, was posted on October 3rd. So pretty much almost about a week span. Now, there will be some days where I didn't post the next couple of stages. Well, I should say the next 3 stages. Because, I was planning on doing it back to back, to show how quickly your mind can change with the idea of depression. But then I realized, I need to stop overworking myself. So I was like, maybe I'll just post it every other day. But otherwise, that's how long it took for this whole project to be built. I mean, it started with just a small desk at my dad's house. Then I moved over to my mom's house the next week. And then I finished it off from stage 2 to stage 4 from there. And the idea of depression, how'd you come up with that? As somebody who has had depression in my life, the furthest I got was stage 3. And if you listen to the stage 3 album, you can hear these random weird noises like beep, boom, 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 beep, boom, boom. Just bounces off the walls. That's like, for reference, a ping pong ball bouncing either side on your cranium because your mind is going berserk. You can't figure out what to do. There's voices saying this, voices telling you that. And your mental clarity is declining. That's why there's 2 songs called Mental Clarity Declining, stage 3, because your mental health is declining. Once you get to stage 4, you can't go nowhere else outside of stage 4. Now, in the final moments of the stage 4 album, you could hear what sounds like a church choir of some sort. Tell me what that's about. Well, the final minutes of the stage 4 album is pretty sad and dark in its whole totality. I mean, that's the person finally snapping, if you get what I'm saying, and his soul being pushed up to the afterlife. That's why the church choirs are supposed to represent the angels singing, basically symbolizing that your long suffering is over, you're free. Once again, the pain and the mental sorrow that you've been burrowing deep down in your mental caverns for a long time is finally over. So what made you want to start up this project? Well, it was late at night. I needed music to listen to while I was sleeping. So I didn't want to listen to any of my music on Spotify, so I opened up YouTube, opened up the recommendations tab for music, and I saw Everywhere at the End of Time, stages 1 through 6, albums complete. I was curious. Soon as I clicked on that compilation, that 6-hour and 30-minute long video, as soon as I clicked on that, instantly my mind was blown. I mean, this nice, sad, and somber music playing is good study music, good music to listen to on a rainy day, good music to fall asleep to. So like, all right, I'm going to be listening to this. But then I was curious what this whole project was about. So I scrolled onto the description, read what it was about. It was about the degradation of dementia through each stage. So I was like, this is a pretty cool concept. I mean, obviously the idea of dementia itself is really sad. But I mean, whoever made this was a genius. Shout out to Leland James Kirby for making this, / the caretaker as well. So now I was like, okay, I wonder if there's like any, related projects. I looked up caretaker fan projects. Boom, tons upon tons of caretaker fan projects, and then I start going to the rabbit hole on who and what the caretaker is, started watching all these, documentaries on YouTube, and I mean, it was just the whole thing. It was a really interesting concept. So later down the road, a few years later, where we are today, I, was listening to the caretaker, and I was like, I'm going to start my own fan project. So I booted up my camera, and I started filming some behind the scenes on my original YouTube channel, eRaptor612. So I made the Lodger YouTube channel on September 27th, 2025. And that's the same exact day, very same day that I posted the stage 1 album of the Lodger. Last question. Do you see yourself making more music on the Lodger channel? Well, there's a chance that the Lodger himself could be revived. The Lodger is supposed to be a character, and it's the Lodger himself getting depression. So, once again, the Lodger finally snapped. That's why I once again hear a church choir being lifted up into the heavens, when all of his long-term suffering and pain is finally over. But there's a chance that somebody could find the Lodger, seek help, and the Lodger could be revived and then saved to produce more and more music.